You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
I'm way too cold. You have to raise the air.
Oh, lighten up.
It's freezing. You're going with the blue outfit today.
Blue outfit?
Yeah.
Nice.
Blue outfit.
Yeah. Even the shoes.
Blue. Oh, wow. I didn't even see the shoes.
Those are blows. Shoes, blues? No.
Nah.
Okay.
We haven't used that button in a while.
We haven't used a lot of buttons.
You're pushing my buttons. Hey.
Nelly. What's up there, little girl?
Ew, did you hear that?
My
You just
little gargle,
gurgled.
yeah. I'm drinking water.
This coffee's going over at some... I'm just going to put it out there now at the beginning of the show. It's going over at some point.
If that fucking
it's in such
spills,
a bad spot.
then put it on the floor. No, Bron,
but then I'm going to kick it over.
Okay,
I'll just finish it before I...
No, if that spills, there's major problems.
Yeah.
Mom already spilled the coffee. Mom filled it up all the way to the top.
I know. I heard you on the phone. Who cares? She spilled it, though. You filled it up, and then you spilled it.
No, higher than the top. No.
Yeah, you can.
It can.
Water tension.
No,
you can go higher
it
than
has
the
that
top.
little arch.
Right, exactly.
They do like the cappuccino they do.
Sure.
No, but Mom
The
went
water
all the way to the
tension.
top, and then she takes it's like half full, like boom, not even slurps it, and then empties it because it emptied all over the thing, and then fills up to the top and puts 3 cubes in. It gets, again, higher at the arch.
The arch.
It's okay.
Stop arching your coffee now.
Doesn't matter. I know, and the garbage
Did you
pail.
use real coffee or your freeze-dried nasty stuff? Ugh.
Yeah, she makes fucking science product.
Yeah.
No, it's a white counter, stains it, sucks it up. It
No,
does.
the point of a counter is to have spills on it.
Well, yeah, by accident.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have the counter. Like,
Okay, but
the
I
counter's meant to get
100
dirty.
fucking % saw that happening.
Yeah, but yeah, so
No, yeah, that's.
yeah, I think it's.
They
I think
go
it's,
back in social media now.
I think it's good to accept that you can't control everything in your life. That there are things that are
Oh, I know.
even
I
when
can't
you can
control-
see problems that they're still going to come, and you just have to
just
roll with
like
it.
a little common sense. Stop doing that on my fucking carpet.
Why?
Because it
of
lays
what?
flat. It's a thin carpet. It's a skin
So
carpet.
you think I'm going to ruin it forever?
As you quiet now, as
You think if I put my foot under the carpet, it's
when
going to
you
ruin
keep
it forever?
Pulling it, you keep pulling.
I'm not
it
pulling it. I'm putting my foot under it.
I'd rather you not. See how it creases?
Gay carpet, anyway.
Carpet.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't
how,
like the carpet? I think.
Oh,
it
I
works
don't
here.
dislike it, but it's
not
kind of gay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's an animal print with gold flecks on it. Beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
It looks very nice. Ask your uncle if it's gay.
A gold animal print carpet is
No, it's black and has some gold flecks in it.
The whole thing is gold. What do you mean?
It works perfect in the place.
It does.
That's all that
The gay place. Oh, is this a bathroom in the West Village? You know how they used a bathhouse. That's what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know that was a big problem at one point in Equinox.
Come here, you got a little dandruff in your woman. Or it's the gel. Got it. Okay.
No, I think it's the dandruff.
I heard
My
about the
dandruff goes
Equinox.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Equinox is, for those who don't know, is like a very high end,
Like $500 a month gym.
yeah.
They have more.
It's like a social club mixed with a gym. It's a huge lifestyle thing that people do. But apparently,
Who would want to honestly to pay? To me, you
it's
go
like
into
$300, I think.
you go into a gym to work out. Like I don't
Yeah,
get the whole.
But there's a whole spa component.
I get it, but hanging out in the gym, like I don't get who would want to hang out in the
No,
gym.
but think if you live in New York, you live in a small apartment, right? And you go from work to your apartment. It's nice to have like a third place that's big, open. You have a sauna, you have a steam room, you have there's like lounges.
Yeah, I don't know. When
All
I go
your
to
friends
gym,
are there.
I worked out this morning. I went in. When I'm done, I'm out.
Also, a nice part about Equinox, I don't have an Equinox membership. I don't care about it. But a nice part of it is that they're all, if you live in New York and you're an Equinox member and you're now visiting Miami for the weekend, you can go to the Equinox here.
Yeah, I get it.
You have a gym that will be good and you can go to.
Or in the hotel you're at, could have a nice gym.
Hotel gyms are not the best.
Actually, now, what was that hotel in California we stayed at?
The Hotel California?
No, what was that hotel? Was that the one with the nice gym? Yeah. Fucking A. This Intercontinental Hotel,
Okay.
that gym was better than any gym I've ever seen in my entire life. It was
That's shocking, though. You have to admit that's not the norm.
But if you look it up right now on the internet, I'm telling you,
I believe you.
It was the nicest. High-end gyms don't have gyms like that. That's how nice it was.
Well, you have to admit that's not the norm.
They killed it. I don't have to do anything, Bronson.
Okay.
I go about it. It's got the.
So apparently, in the Equinox in Soho and the Equinox in West Hollywood, which is in LA,
which
Soho
is gay.
One's in New York.
The one in West Hollywood. The West Hollywood is very gay, though.
And Soho is like those are both like gayish neighborhoods. Neighborhoods. Apparently, for years, it was this huge problem. The Soho one even more because the city had to get involved. Because there were showers and steam room and sauna and all that in the men's part of the spa. My allergies in this room are so bad. I don't know why. Every time
because
I walk
the dog hairs are so even if the dog hairs are
my whole face.
I take my sneakers off and I walk in my socks. Listen, I take my sneakers off. My socks covered. No matter how much Santucci cleans it.
I can feel it in my nose.
Yeah, it's a fucking problem. It's
so apparently in the Soho bathrooms, like in the men's ones, you would go into the shower and people were like, apparently it was a known gay hookup spot that gay men would just like go in these saunas and steam rooms and showers and like have sex with each other and like randomly too. Like it wasn't like, apparently that's a thing. You would just go in and like randomly have sex with whoever is in there. But straight men were going in to take showers and were getting like assaulted by gay men.
That's terrible.
Because the gay men were like, oh, you're in the showers. Let me come fuck you. And then they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not, but you're already naked. So it's like they're like groping you.
And how do you know if they're gay or not?
Oh, you're saying as the gay guy.
Well, gay guy, and then you want to go in the shower.
Right. You're like, these showers are the known hookup spot. I'm going into the shower.
That's cringe.
Yeah. But apparently like it was such a bad problem.
Wait, that's not conditioner. Okay, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
The city had to like get involved, and they like shut.
So they have shower monitors.
I don't know how they handled it, but yeah. How did we get on that? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, bathhouse. Gay. Oh, the carpet being gay. That's how That's how we got there.
All right.
So how are you?
I'm good, bro. So last night I went to Havana Harry's, right, Cuban restaurant. It really is great.
Yes. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Yeah,
the price point. The people are a little weird looking. There was some, it's like, but the price.
There were some freaks there last night, actually.
See the
table behind us was freak.
Is that not?
Yeah, they were Hills of Eyes.
Hills of Eyes. Okay. You know that documentary, which is that freaky documentary, that family?
The Whitaker one?
Is that what it is now?
The inbred family?
Yeah.
Where the son like speaks like a dog? That one?
Yeah, that's what that family was like.
Yeah, the Whitakers.
That is a crazy, crazy fucking documentary.
By documentary, you mean a YouTube video? Like I
only not documentary. What I mean that?
Yeah, but it's on YouTube. It's not on television.
Okay, not doc. All right.
No, I'm trying to make sure we're talking about the same thing. You're talking about they were all sitting on the porch.
Yeah,
okay. Right.
That's some crazy fucking shit.
Inbred, West Virginia, Appalachia.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's a whole world in there.
Like it's a different species.
It's getting there because they're so inbred.
No, it's a different species.
Yeah. But apparently inbreeding back in the day it was
royalty
a desirable thing, yeah. But it killed them all off.
The bloodline.
Like the Russian royal. Oh my god, my nose.
That's how fish came about.
What do you mean?
Because from the inbreeding with the web feet and gills and everything. Good.
The Russian royal family was so inbred that they ended up just killing themselves off because all the kids were so sick and sickly, and they would die so easily because they were inbred.
Why is inbreeding so unhealthy?
Because you're not getting genetic variation. Why? A mutt. A mutt is
animals inbreed?
No, I mean there are protections against.
No, I'm talking about in the wild.
Right, I know. I'm saying there are protections against it, in the wild, but they will inbreed if they. There are certain gorilla clans, are so small that it's one male and all the women, and then the women have children, and then those women stay within the clan, and those are his daughters, and eventually, but then a younger male will usually, usurp him, so it's hard for inbreeding to happen there. But what was I just saying before before you.
I said why? You said the genetic change.
Oh yeah, genetic variation because, like if you have, like when you pass your DNA on to me, I'm getting your DNA, right? So if there's mutations, if you carry this disease,
and you think the body cleanses it out as you go?
No, it's not the body cleanses it out. It's if you pass all your genes, good and bad, onto me, and then let's just say you keep that in the family, right? Like you don't introduce new genes. Everyone is just keeping all the good and bad genes. So those bad genes keep mixing with each other, and then eventually you're just going to get bad genes.
Why, doesn't mom have plenty of bad genes?
Right, but
her family.
But if you keep and then so I'll get hers. But then if you don't bring an outside gene pool in,
yeah.
That's why when Jews keep having children with Jews, the kids get sick. There are diseases that just exist within Jewish populations. Because
that was planted by the non-Jews.
But it's like if Banks, our dog, who's a purebred Great Dane, has way more problems than our Mutt Yorkie Poodle mix ever did because there were only so many Great Danes. And when you know that, once a few of them have genetic mutations, that's in the gene pool of Great Danes now.
Makes sense.
So I mean, really, what you should do if you want the strongest human baby, like genetically, you mate with someone completely different different race. You mate with if you're white, you mate with a black person or an Indian person or an Asian person, and vice versa. If you're a black person, you mate with a white person because you're gonna have less chance of right. Like if you're a Jewish person and you carry Tay-Sex,
interesting.
You're going to pass it on to me. But if another Jewish person has it, I'm guaranteed to get it.
So if a black and a white Jewish person, then it's really a Jewfro they would have.
Yeah, ultimate Jewfro.
Right. I don't know. Going back though to that fucking Whitaker's, when you watch that's creepy stuff, right?
It's just so insular. Like
it's weird.
They have there's no outside world. So they just
weird. Fucking weird.
I'm sure everyone knows
the kid was
what I'm talking about. He couldn't he was mentally
how do they
incapacitated.
Live?
Yeah, how do they cook? How do they
get money and for food?
I don't know, but then again, I don't really think they need what do they need money for? They live in a little shack in the woods.
Fucking
and the there's so much shit in the Appalachian Mountains
that we don't even know, right?
Yeah. And the Appalachian are even they're bizarre. There's just
where is the Appalachian?
It goes from North Carolina, but Georgia starts all the way in South there, and then it goes all the way up to Maine.
Don't people hike it
all the way up? Yeah, people. The
it's
Appalachian Trail,
right?
It's very long. It goes from Georgia to Maine. It's that's how long it goes. The entire eastern seaboard.
I would like to hike that.
I mean, that's really long.
Far, right?
And the Appalachian, I think, is one of the oldest mountain ranges in the entire world. It's actually so old that when you were in Scotland and you were in the Scottish Highlands and those mountains, right? You were there.
Loved it.
Those are the same mountains as the Appalachian. At one point, they were all the same mountain range.
That's interesting. What's even more fucked up is that.
Before America broke. But doesn't it look like it? It looks like it. They're the same mountains. They're hills. They're not mountains.
Scotland was truly beautiful. You ever been?
No.
Okay. No, wasn't Scotland beautiful? And that town we went to? What was that town we went to?
Inverness?
Yeah, the island.
Shetland.
Oh, my God.
But isn't that crazy that those mountains are so old that they...
How old is it?
They literally... They were a full mountain range when the United States, North America, was connected to Europe in Pangea. They formed before they broke off. And that's why they're not... when you think of the Rocky Mountains, they're huge, sharp mountains, right? But when you think of the Appalachian Mountains, it's hills. When you're thinking Smoky Mountains that we went to in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, it's rolling hills. It's not
also
really
a lot of inbreeding there, I'm sure.
Yeah. But the reason why there are hills and that stuff is because they're such old mountains that they've been like worn down. They're not sharp, tall mountains like that anymore.
Going back to Scotland, you should go. I would go back to Scotland. It is beautiful. It is probably one of the prettiest places on earth. Don't you agree now? I mean, it was so beautiful, like untouched.
Yeah,
beautiful.
There's so much land up there.
There's so much land, and you felt cleansed. You know what I'm saying? It was truly beautiful, beautiful landscape.
Yeah,
and everybody was so nice. I bet you there's no crime.
No,
there's no crime there.
No, it's so sparse though too. Like what crime would there be? You know,
it was beautiful.
There were definitely like if I were to believe that there were supernatural or spiritual or all that, like stuff like that, somewhere in the world, I would feel like it would be in the Appalachian Mountains, you know? Like backcountry voodoo shit exists there. And like skinwalkers and all that stuff.
Yeah, when we went through
the
that
mountains just feel it when you're
shortcut with pressure.
Yeah.
Wait, do you remember that street?
That was Appalachian.
Okay, they will fuck you up. Like
that's not what I mean by supernatural.
No,
but
I'm talking about if we got a flat.
I don't know. I think people are friendly.
No, we would be dead. They would eat us.
Why? I think
no one would find us right now. We'd be dead if we got stuck.
No,
there.
if we get out of our Cadillac with your Rolex and we're like, where's the nearest synagogue? I need a bagel. Like,
where's a Starbucks?
If we get out like that, yeah, they're gonna kill us. But I think people in the South Appalachia are friendly.
And I know I'm jumping out, just my brain's working this way. And you know what's another great fucking place which I really, really, really enjoyed?
What?
Iceland.
Wow.
Iceland was great. Even
I said it at the exact same time.
Even
I knew you were going to say that.
No, how great was fucking Iceland? And even when we did the Eurovision, when we went to that cliff there.
Yeah.
Come on, how much fun was that?
Iceland's a great country.
No, it was one of the best trips we've been on.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than Hawaii, and I loved Hawaii.
Interesting. Just so different.
So different.
Literally the exact opposite of place.
But I don't know, Iceland.
Hawaii is the best.
Hawaii was great. Hawaii was great.
Hawaii also, like, there are certain places that you go, and I don't know if it's manufactured or if it is just the way it is. Like how I was saying, you go to Appalachia and you feel like there's something like primeval or whatever that word is in the forest. And so that's why I was like, oh, there's something that could be supernatural here. When you go to Hawaii, you're like, there's an energy in this land that is like
Hawaii's
feel good energy.
But something about Iceland, I don't know, man. Even the fact that it was cold when we went, and we went on that black sand, and I don't know, the water, it's fucking magical. That place is, the food, the people, that's a place that's like, they're going to ruin it because it's going to get built up.
Yeah, it's going to get too touristy. I mean, it already probably, from 10 years ago to now, it's probably completely different.
The ice, when we were doing
ice in Iceland?
No, when we were doing the glacier.
Yeah.
Brian, that's,
your
cool. Eyes would never, your eyes, unless you go there, you'll never visually see something like that.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
It's a unique place.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Another place that I felt, this is a total pivot to or not pivot, but total downer.
Start with the carpet.
Another place that I felt like a real energy have you ever felt that? Where you're in a place and you're like, you feel like an out of body energy. You're like, there's something in this landscape that is.
Okay.
You never felt that?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
When I was in the forest in Germany, in Poland, on the March of the Living, the forest where they killed all the Jews.
Oh, I did not like that. Was a
I
very
was like,
airy.
there's an energy in this forest. There's something I can feel.
Yeah, that was
outside
a little
of my body.
Uncomfortable.
And I'm not even saying like just because of what they were telling me. I'm like, you feel on edge.
There was a sullenness and knowing. Yeah, it was.
And even just, I'm talking about like just in the forest.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The trees felt evil and the ground felt wrong.
You know, that's going to bring me to my anger. That's going to get me angry with those fucking people. Evil people.
I was watching. Mom, can you?
That's what she does.
You hear that sharp
No.
sound?
When she's done with this, she's going to take the ice thing and start punching the ice cube to soften it up.
I was watching Masters of the Air last night, which is that World War II plane, like Air Force show that I was telling you about. And it was a really interesting episode because it followed, like, in the previous episode, the guy, one of their missions, one of the main characters, like, his plane was shot down. So now he's like, this plane crashes and now he's on German soil.
What do you do?
And that was a big thing.
No one's coming for you.
So he was like, shit, I'm in Germany.
True story?
It's based on a true story. Yeah.
Okay. Did he survive?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know about this guy. The book that it's written about was like written by one of their group was the 100th. They were the 100th squadron or whatever. They had all of those numbers. And one of the group in the 100th, Henry something, I forget what his name. He's the one that wrote the book. But it follows like all the different guys in the squadron. But there's one guy, he crashes and now he's in Germany and he ends up like getting caught and he's walking through. He gets caught by the Nazis and they're bringing him to like a prisoner of war camp, but they have to transfer him through a city, a German city, to like the other train station to then bring him to the camp. And so him and a few other prisoners of war are walking through the city. They get off the train and they're walking through a city that was just bombed. So it's like literally just bombed. The buildings are still on fire.
Okay.
And so it's like they bombed it. They're, us, the Americans or the British or whoever it was. And they're walking through and he's like seeing the destruction around him. And they're like, he knows. He's like, we did this. And it's just, and then the Germans, like citizens who are just living in the town, see, oh, these are Americans that are being marched through our town. And they all like go after them and just start killing them. The citizens, just like moms and dads. But then and you're thinking, and because the show makes them like as evil. They're, like the way they portray them, these German citizens, is like evil. But then you think, if it was the other way around, like of course, imagine if Miami was just bombed and they're bringing the people that bombed it through, you would 100% break through to try to kill them.
Yeah.
And it just they try to show like this can go either way. Like, I mean, obviously
it's happening right now.
Yeah.
In the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
And there are innocent people. Listen, war is terrible, but unfortunately don't have selective war, right? Warfare. You have to take out certain areas. I mean, war is a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah. That's
a
like
lot
the
of
main
innocent people and lives get uprooted and destroyed and killed, and businesses, and I don't think anybody wants war.
There are some people that do.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I don't think any normal person wants war.
And I think a lot of people nowadays are so detached from it in America, right? Like they just have never seen fighting.
And life goes on. Right.
No, that's not what I meant. I was saying like people are so detached from it that the idea of war is like entertaining to them. Like a lot of people in our country right now are like, they want either a civil war or like that they're okay with that. And it's like, you don't realize what would happen.
No, war is bad.
Real fighting,
war
like,
is
it's
bad.
Terrible for everyone.
But sometimes you have no choice.
Right, of course.
Just you have no choice.
And that's the main idea of the show. It's a really good show. I'd recommend it. But the main idea is like, this is so brutal and so horrible. But I mean, there's another character. He's a Jewish character. He's like a Jewish guy from Brooklyn that was an amazing pilot, commercial pilot. And he went and joined the Air Force because he was like, I have to go help. And he's torn because he's like, this is so insane. The first day he showed up, he went on a mission, and there were 35 planes that flew. Only 3 came back. So he watched 120.
Terrible.
The first day he got to Britain, the first mission he flew, 120 of his friends just all died. So he's like grappling with, we shouldn't be doing this, but we have to.
Correct.
And they sent him to like a therapy camp for the weekend because they were like, you just came and you watched all, like, we need you to be in your tip-top shape, so we're going to send you to therapy, like a therapeutic retreat. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't want to be doing this. He's like, every day I'm here, there are more people dying there. But it's like he has to reconcile the horrors of it with like the necessity of it. It's crazy. It's so
And then these people
terrible.
come back to our country and they deal with post-traumatic stress and nobody helps them with. They have no life. They don't know how to deal with it, and they become homeless. It's a terrible thing. We need to support our vets.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
I know.
That's not the
point of what
typical,
you were saying.
But that's also not the typical trajectory of a veteran. They come home and are homeless. That's
I'm
not
saying,
the
but they
typical.
deal with the emotional and the post-traumatic stress, and that's a hard thing for the people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And back in the day, they used to build them all houses. After World War II,
Yeah.
World War II, they all came back, but also it was a lot more. Like the whole society went away. So the government had no choice but to
War is
help
terrible,
them.
but sometimes it's necessary.
I know, but not anymore in this. Like it shouldn't be necessary in
Well,
modern
okay,
day.
so when the Israel thing happened, what should they do?
Oh no.
I'm just
sometimes
playing dumb. Right. What should they do?
Right, but even like it just shouldn't be necessary to like be hurting other people.
I agree.
for
No
land.
one should.
Right.
No one should be harming anybody.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. It is St. Patrick's Day season. You have to be ready for a woman to find your pot of gold, and you have to make sure that it's shiny and nice.
Well, if it's for St. Patrick's Day, don't they have a special razor that trims all the redheads? Oh no, only joking.
All the snakes out of Ireland. You have to trim the snakes out of your bush.
No, if
just
that-
like St. Patrick took all the snakes out of
Not
Ireland.
Irish. There's not snakes. There'll be worms.
That's
Small?
a story of gotcha.
Okay. Okay.
But Manscaped does have you covered with all their line of products. The Lawnmower 5.0, their latest trimmer for everywhere in your body. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. That thing is great.
Oh, you know, Manscaped has to make for St. Patrick's Day. They have to make a razor with a flask attached to it.
I don't know if you can say that.
Okay,
you
good.
can make that joke.
Okay.
But go to manscaped.com, check out their line of products. We love it over here. One of my friends literally texted me this morning that he got the Lawnmower 5.0, and he was like,
Game
"Oh,
changer."
dude!" He said he's been using his old beard trimmer on his balls, and it would like pull and yank on his hair and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and he would go down. This one, not a problem. Literally texted me that this morning.
But I still think the best one is that little flat razor. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's amazing.
That gets you a really close
It's
shave.
amazing.
The crop shaver, I think, is what
Yeah,
it's called.
it's great.
All their products are great. I use my weed whacker on my nose hairs the other day is great. My
Yeah.
girlfriend actually said, she was like, "You need to trim your nose hairs." Brought
for
out the
her.
weed whacker right away.
You
trimmed
should
them
never
all.
let it get to that point.
I
You
know.
got to take care of your nose hairs. You're a hairy
It's
guy.
important.
No, you got your ears. I use it on my nose. I use it on my chest. I use it on. I clean down in the southern region. You know, it is a great product.
All their stuff is really great, and they're always changing, and they're always improving their products.
They're improving 100%.
When you wouldn't even think they would be able to improve. So you're like, oh, mine already has a light. Now they're like, oh, the light's way bigger and covers way more of your area. You're like, oh, mine only charged for a couple hours. Now it stays charged for like over a week. They're great. So I would go to manscaped.com, use the code DaddyIssues20, and you'll get 20% off your order
Buy it.
and free shipping.
Just buy it.
Go check it all out. Once again, go to manscaped.com, use the code DaddyIssues20, and you'll get 20% off your order and free shipping.
And you will thank us. I guarantee it. But as something like what the Hamas did with Israel, what choice do they have?
No, right, I know, but that
Or
shouldn't
Ukraine.
even happen to begin with.
Right? Ukraine has no choice but to defend it. It's terrible what's going on. It should never happen in the first place, but they have no choice.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's wrong.
And then you watch in this show, like they took all the prisoners of war, and they had like 50 of them, Americans, and they were putting them on a train car. And then as they were all getting on the train car, another train car went by of Jews. And they were reaching all their hands out, and they're like screaming.
See, I don't wanna hear it. I
And
don't
the
wanna
guy
hear it.
and the
I don't wanna-
Americans, because it was interesting because
Fuck the Nazis, man.
the Americans soldiers, as they were marched through the city that was destroyed, and they were seeing mothers holding their dead babies and all this stuff.
Right,
And they were
what
like,
are you doing,
They were
man?
like, this
Press
was
them.
at our hands. And so at first, they're kind of trying to show like the Americans were questioning. They're like, what are we doing? We just destroyed this entire city. Look at all the chaos and destruction we just caused. Should we be doing this? And then the next scene, they're being loaded onto a train car, and they see the train car of Jews go by,
Yeah.
and you can kind of tell
So
in
they
their head, they're like,
click that.
that's why we're doing
Correct.
this. We have to be doing this.
Like, what the fuck? The Nazis are evil.
It's not.
evil.
It's not just that everyone's evil.
I'm saying, but that whole thing, evil.
That was an evil time.
Even like, come on, it's evil that they want to eradicate Jews. It's evil.
Yeah, and how they went about it.
But even
So
today,
methodically.
even today,
What do you mean?
with a the way the Germans did it was unbelievable, considering back in those times. But I'm saying, even today, people want to eradicate Jews. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
do.
it's not just with the Jews. Most people like could get to that evil, you know. And most people have hatred to another person in their body. When you say, "Oh, it's crazy that like these people hate,"
I know
Jews. Everyone is
listen,
hatred.
No, but there's
there's
a difference, Bronson. There's a difference of self-defense and defending your life as opposed to, I don't believe
talking about self-defense.
I'm talking about it right now. So I'm saying,
Yeah.
you're saying,
no, but what do you mean? Like, why?
Well,
who are you saying?
if you let me finish, you'll understand where I'm going with it. You said everybody is that evil. So you mean that everybody can just say, I want to kill that person? Is that what you're saying? And I'm saying, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't think someone like you or me or someone that has compassion and remorse just says, I'm just going to kill that strange person. I think that we would if our life was being threatened. But just to say, I just want to kill them because they're black or they're Asian or they're Palestinian. I truly, even my strong personality, I would never want to take anyone's fucking life, period, unless they threaten my life. So I don't agree with you. I think that the way we are genetically wired, the way we were brought up, the way we understand in our culture, I don't think that most people would say, just kill them all. I don't think that's what we're about. But if our life was threatened, then and I don't think that's evil. I think that's just self-defense, saying if it's your life or my life, it's going to be your life, not mine. That's the difference. Well,
so you're painting very broad strokes. Why don't you think? So you're saying if our life was threatened, you would kill, which is like, yeah, sure, but that's the point it gets to. You think in Nazi Germany, not to be on the side of Nazis, but in Nazi Germany in 1934, when it was like early on and the Nazis came to power, they weren't just like you just think every German person was like, oh yeah, let's all kill the Jews. No, over a 10-year span, they all were conditioned to get to the point where they thought the Jew, it's either us or them. They are here, like how in current American society, where we're dealing with this whole like our country is being ruined by these migrants. They're coming in, right? Like this is how we're feeling, and we feel it, and we feel like we're justified. We might be, and we might not be, but we feel. Wait, hold on, but we feel like we're justified, right? And we say the things we say.
You're saying let's kill the migrants.
No, but
big difference, Bronson.
But in 1932, they weren't saying let's kill the Jews. They were saying the Jews are coming into this country of Germany. They're taking all our money. They're ruining our culture. In 10 years, Germany won't look like Germany anymore. There won't be Germans. All these migrants are coming in and ruining our stuff. That's what they were saying. Then 10 years down the road, it evolved into a completely different thing.
I still believe.
But when you're saying there's a difference because they're evil, we're not. We would do it, but it's like things evolve.
I understand things evolve.
They weren't born evil.
Yeah, but I still think there is a.
So you think all of Germany, like?
No, I'm not saying all of Germany. I'm saying the Nazis and that whole, the purpose behind it and what they were doing and the teachings. Yes, evil.
But you think they were just. Because you said genetically how we're wired. So you think they were just genetically wired to be evil? Or do you think they became evil? Genuinely, I'm asking.
I think Hitler is genetically wired.
We're not talking about Hitler. We're talking about the people. That's what we've been talking about this whole time.
I don't know people necessarily. I think some people are genetically
definitely
evil.
Some people.
But
there were hundreds of there were millions of them.
No, I don't think they're genetic. I think they were taught. Right. And I think that mob mentality and whatever.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Right, but I don't think I don't think I would want to kill anybody unless they threaten my family's life or mine.
Right, but don't you feel and it's a big leap to get to the point where you're like, yes, we need to kill those people. But like it's a natural progression.
You can hate them and dislike them.
Right, and hate breeds
I get it.
Stuff.
I get it.
And you don't think like
that.
Don't you feel this currently? We've talked about this in many episodes, and I feel it too. Like you feel America is threatened. Our way of life is under threat. We are being attacked from the inside and out, culturally, economically.
But I never would want them dead.
You said I will leave this country because I feel so under
threat. But
threat.
I won't kill them. There's a big difference.
Right now.
I'm just saying. I'm telling. I know
And
me.
I don't know. I think,
agree. I disagree with you. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. I think humans have the propensity every human has the propensity to get to a place where they're like, maybe not doing the killing themselves, but to be like, yeah, okay, do what you need to do to get rid of that threat.
But there's a difference though. And
I think most Germans felt that way.
Here's the difference.
Where they were like, I'm going to turn a blind eye.
No, but here's the difference. There are certain people that, like, when you talk about that fucking body thing and how they're doing that with taking them and like these prisoners and I feel sadness and anger at the same time of it. There are people it doesn't affect. When you have that same conversation with, they're like, okay. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There's just, I think, just different people. And there's a compassion component. We know people like that. Some people have the feeling, some people don't have the feeling. So I think that's why I draw my conclusion. Like, when I feel something, like, you know how some Germans helped the Jews, you know, like, because they knew that even though their ideology might say, but there's still a human component, a compassion component. Those people are different than evil people.
Yeah. And so I agree with you on the premise that, like, there are some people that are born truly they are evil.
There's some people taught to be evil.
And then there's some people that are good. I think those are the far extremes. I think that the true evil born people, I think that's like 1% of people, even less. In Nazi Germany, I think that was 1%. I think the vast majority, I think 95% of Nazi Germany was normal people that were taken up into this. They were so down that they were
hungry and
a German citizen wasn't power hungry. I'm not talking about like the generals. I'm talking about just a person who lived in, like, if
but they also had fear. They had fear instilled in them.
Right. That's
that
what
if
I'm saying.
they didn't do it, they would die.
What do you mean?
If the Germans didn't follow the rules of the Nazi regime, they would be punished.
No, but the Germans voted the Nazis in. Like, they were all for it. And I think what I'm saying is, like, people can get so I think humans have the propensity to get to that point when they're scared, when they're threatened, when they are worried for their safety. All that can convince someone to do anything.
I don't disagree with you on that.
You see it in movies. I mean,
no, I don't disagree with you on that.
You hear stories of soldiers all the time where it's like, or maybe not soldiers, but you see like movies where someone's a normal person, you know, just works a desk job or whatever, and then they feel so threatened, or like someone's threatening their child, that they just like beat the person to death, you know, just like pummel them. I think everyone has a propensity. I think you do. I think you would, I think you would admit it too, that you would become a killer if, like, we were threatened.
100%.
Right. And so what if it was just not me being directly threatened, Bronson, but like our family's safety was threatened by that person?
I don't disagree with you. I think that people have that propensity. I agree. What I'm saying, though, is there's a different component of, look, I said it, you know, I don't need to say it another time. So I agree with you that I think human beings do have that ability, but I think that there's a way we're taught, especially in more of a civilized community and being educated. I just think that certain people feel something that know it's wrong, and they will fight to that. I think that could be dampened easily. The feeling that this is wrong. I think you can easily, like, we were talking a couple episodes ago about the migrant thing again, and you said we like got into a little bit of a fight on it because you were like, they're all coming here and they're all I forget the word you said. You were like, they're all violent or they're all problems or whatever. And I was like, remember I said, I think the majority of them are like women and children just coming here to look for a better life. And you were like, no, that's not the case. That is the case. You just painted an entire group of people that you don't know who they are. You have no idea like what their makeup is, what their desires are, what their motives are. But you were like, they are all bad. That's not empathetic.
or compassionate.
But I don't listen. But there's a big difference that I don't want any of them coming here illegally. There's a big difference. But I'm not saying they should die.
No, of course not. But
there's a huge difference.
You're demonizing a group that you don't know.
But
you don't know who they are.
I'm making a conclusory statement broader than you are, saying I don't want any of them in. So to me, they're all bad. I don't care what their intentions are. I don't care if it's mothers and children coming in.
Just saying, they're all bad. That's a step.
No, it's not a step because I don't want. I know me at 57. I don't want death to any of those people.
Okay, but there's a big difference between saying we can't let people in here and then the next step of saying they're all bad. That's what you just said.
Bad for our country.
Okay, right. But
that's okay. No, I don't agree. I don't think it's the same thing. What we're saying.
I
hear what you're saying.
You said I have compassion. I'm empathetic. That's not. That's literally not.
Okay. I have empathy on what I want to have empathy on. I don't have to be empathetic on everything.
Okay, so then then the Germans
because
Nazis could have had empathy.
The difference is here's the difference.
You can't have empathy on things that you want and not.
Taking a life to me is wrong. Period. Unless it's literally self-defense of your life. That's my opinion. So therefore, just to kill someone because they're born.
Self-defense of your life individually or our life as Americans?
Listen.
No, that's an important question.
But killing someone because they're Jews or blacks or Asians, I have an issue with. Okay, period. And they wanted to kill all Jews. Period. There's no gray area. They wanted to kill Jews.
But you just said, first of all, I disagree that you can choose where you want to be empathetic or not, because then that's the whole problem. Because then you could say, I'm empathetic, just not towards Chinese. But then that means you're not empathetic. So the Nazis could have easily said, we're empathetic.
Just not towards Jews.
Right.
Because we want to kill Jews. That's the problem I have. They could say, I don't want Jews in my country. I don't like Jews. I hate Jews.
And that's how it started.
Wait, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't care. Just listen, people have a right to their opinion. No one has a right to take another life.
But you don't agree with that. And you just said, because...
Yes, I do agree with that.
Do you think the Hamas people, that are, the terrorist ones that are going in and killing Jews and all that stuff, do you think they should die? Or do you think that we should let them live?
They should die.
No one has the right to take another life.
No. Okay, Bronson.
But I'm telling you, you're giving black and white rules and then you're giving carve-outs to each one.
I said 100 fucking times, unless they are threatening your life. They're not
threatening your life.
Okay.
So why should they die?
Because the threat. Okay, Bronson, you don't understand. Do you understand?
No, I do. But I'm saying that's how you could easily then say you could make it about anything. These Jews aren't threatening my life directly, but they're threatening those people's lives. They should die.
And
you're saying Hamas isn't threatening my life directly, but they're threatening Israelis' lives. They should die.
Okay, Bronson.
Do you think that they should die?
If people are killing, if I'll give you this, if let's say if a Muslims let's say Hamas says, and I'm not black, and they start going and killing black people. I'm like, those people that are killing black people should die. Because these innocent black people need to be defended. So the people doing the harm should die. Their only mission is to kill innocent people. Now, Jon Bloom's not going in there physically doing it because I'm not there. I don't need to do it. But in my mind, anyone that takes an innocent life should die. They have no right to fucking do that. Okay, it's called self-defense.
Yeah, but now... I agree with you, and I'm on the same page. But don't you see how if you already feel that way, if someone is threatening another person's life, they should die. So you feel that way inside. So then it's a very easy step to be like, okay, now I believe that that group is threatening our group's life, they should die. You already feel the foundation of if threatened.
But that's a big difference in saying that someone just because they're white or black or Asian or Jewish, that's a whole different thing.
Right. Don't you say that? It can get to that point easily. That's what I'm trying to argue.
Okay.
Because you already feel you're not being threatened by Hamas.
I didn't disagree with you that people, yes, I do feel threatened by Hamas.
Directly, your life is threatened right now. So you should you need to self-defend.
No, Bronson, are you going? Are we going back down this whole literal thing? Do you not understand the concept of what I'm talking about?
I do exactly.
I'm talking conceptually.
Right, say it.
You're talking literally like.
No.
I am in my apartment here in Miami. I have no threat right now.
Right. So then Hamas shouldn't die to you.
No, Bronson,
You shouldn't be subscribing to the Hamas should die.
Bronson, I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know if
I agree with what
going
you're saying,
on
but
with you.
I'm taking the argument of your point. I'm taking your point that you just said. I'm saying that's how you can get to Nazi Germany.
No, what I'm saying, okay, there's two things.
A German person in Dresden who was
Jews did not threaten the flight.
That's what they believed, Dad.
Okay,
they did believe that.
The Jews did not threaten.
They did
the
believe
light.
that.
Okay.
How do you?
But there's a difference.
That's what they believe.
But there's a difference.
And so if you
but
believe migrants are threatening our life,
no, I never said that. First of all, let's stick to the fucking facts. Okay, number one.
What facts?
The facts are this: the Jews never physically harmed the Germans. So forget what they were taught. I get the fact that people might have been sold a bill of goods,
and that's all that matters is that is what you believe.
Bronson, I'm agreeing with you. Okay, wow, we are completely in agreement.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
that people can get to that point.
Yes.
Then we were talking about me specifically.
No,
that's what you did. We were talking about me specifically.
I'm not saying you're going to become a Nazi.
No,
I'm just saying I'm trying to make it personal to me and you.
I
understand.
To that point. No, the difference is I don't think I can get to that point. Okay, and I don't know because I'm not at that point. But I don't think I would get to that point that I believe in sticking up for the underdog. So if Asians or black people are being killed by a certain group, it doesn't really affect me, right? How does it really affect me? But I would say if those people are harming them, they need to be stopped at whatever force. Because I still say I believe that no one should harm anybody.
But so you just but then so you just say that shouldn't happen. But it is but then what?
I don't
let it happen.
Well, I can't. I'm not part of the army. I'm not part.
Right,
but you.
Exactly.
I don't think no. But Bronson, you let it happen. There's 7 billion people in this world. I'm saying let it happen. I'm giving my opinion that I'm against it. So you talk about it. You do whatever you can or whatever it might be. You might not be able to do anything. But at least it's awareness. I don't sit there and say, I don't think going back that I would want to harm anybody that isn't harming someone else. But if someone's harming somebody, I think they should be stopped. So I think those people should either die or be imprisoned or whatever it is. That's my point.
I agree with you. I agree.
And I'm
just saying I think I can see how a society easily gets to the point of concentration camps because even like you said, the Jews weren't physically harming them. Whatever they believed, they weren't physically harming them. And it's like, yeah, I agree with you. And that's the factual state of what was happening. The Jews weren't harming anyone. They were just coming in to live. They were like, we want to live in Germany because Germany's a better country than where we just came from the village in Russia that was attacking us every day. And we were, so they were like, we're going to just come to Germany because we want to live there. That's like the migrants aren't physically harming us. But they are. Hold on, let me finish.
Not necessarily
true. But they are right. But see, and so a German. If we were in 1932 and we were having this conversation, and I was saying the Jews aren't physically harming us, you would say that's not necessarily true.
Then they should have exported the Jews out of Germany.
That's how it started.
No, listen.
No, that's how it started.
Okay, but let me explain something. I'm just giving my opinion. This is what the reality of it. We know that the fentanyl is coming in. We know that the sleeper cells. We know there's problems. I'm just saying you're 110% correct. There are no doubt migrants coming over that want us to have a better life. I agree with you completely, Bronson. And there's no doubt that migrants want to come and they want to assimilate to the American values. There's no question. I agree with that. There's no question. I don't know all the migrants coming in. We know there's a lot of problem with the millions and multi-millions of migrants coming in. We know there's a problem with the safety. We know there's a problem with housing. And we know there's a problem with fentanyl. We know there's a lot of problems. I'm just saying, not kill them, fuck them, they should die. I'm saying, don't let them in our country and bring them back.
But there's the kill them for sure, but the fuck them, people feel that. Fuck them. Okay. I don't care about the migrants at all. Get them out of here.
But that's okay. Get them out of here.
But that's not like that's.
I agree with
all I'm trying. The point I'm trying to make is I can
point.
see how society easily gets to the evil of killing.
I agree with you.
It starts with the fuck them.
I agree with you.
The majority of Americans right now feel the fuck them.
Okay,
including us.
Listen.
I feel that.
Okay.
Sure. They probably came from a worse life, like a horrible life, but they're not going to come in and ruin our life.
I agree, and I think everybody agrees with you. But I'm saying there's a big difference between wanting harm to them and saying, don't let them in our country.
And I agree with you. There's a huge difference.
And I agree with you. So we've said it 15 times,
Yeah.
Bronson. Being honest with you, we're saying the same thing 15 times over.
Okay, so we can move on.
But I'm just going to say this.
I can easily, that big difference, I do think it's a big difference, but you can easily jump from A to B, I think, easily. We've seen it. We've seen it all the time. Every society has done it. We did it. In America, we did it. When your parents were alive, we rounded up every Japanese American and put them in concentration camps, literal concentration camps, in this country. Did you know that?
No. What are you talking about?
When Pearl Harbor, after Pearl Harbor happened, during World War II, in 1942 or something, the American government, as a government policy and people policy, rounded up every Japanese person, whether they were born in America or not. Literally, people that were born in America, we rounded all of them up and we called them internment camps. We put them in there for years. Some of them were in there 3-4 years.
Terrible.
Lived in concentration camps.
Listen, I'm not saying
that in this country that when your parents were alive.
Okay, Bronson, don't you understand? I can't make again, I'm going to say this. I'm in agreement with you. I don't think it's necessarily right. I don't know why it was done. People are ignorant and stupid. The mob mentality, we see it, what happened with the Palestinian marches and Hamas, and we see what's going on and how people join the bandwagon. Even Americans join the bandwagon, the anti-Jew being anti-Semites. So I get it. It's 100% scary. I would just give you my opinion about me. But I agree, and I think everyone would agree that people could become that way, and that's what we have to make sure our freedoms are protected, our rights are protected, that we voice our opinions, we stand up, we're not afraid to fucking speak to prevent those things. And ISIS, and also keep America, the core foundations of America's beliefs and laws and values intact, because that's what gives people freedoms and protections and due process. And when you lose that, look what's happening in Europe right now. I mean, there's a lot of issues in Europe, and with the whole Muslim view and takeover.
So what should they do to solve that? No, I'm asking.
I don't know if it's solvable.
I don't know. Then what's the step? What in a perfect world? What should they do? Round them all up and kick them out?
Well, they're too late now.
No. But I'm asking you, in a perfect world, in an ideal situation,
I don't know
what should the government of France do? I'm asking your opinion.
I don't know you're asking me opinion, but that's something so hard to even understand.
But in a perfect world, if you could do whatever you wanted,
I think maybe
the problem in Europe, all these Muslims come in there, right?
It changed it.
Right. And so if you were Thanos and you could snap your finger and make it however you want, what would that be? Every single one of those people just kicked out, right? And that's, I don't disagree with you.
I don't know, because there are generations that are there that are now French as citizens, live there. So it's a tough call.
The problem is and then, yeah,
I don't know the answer.
The problem is you say, not you, I'm saying people say, yeah, kick them out. And I agree, I'm on that side. But then it's like, okay, yeah, in a perfect world, okay, that's the policy. Kick everyone who's not this out. They're not just going to go willy-nilly. So now we have to forcefully kick them out. And then that's when you get
I don't know the answer, but here's the problem. People have a right to move and live where they want to live. I do agree with that, right? But and then people want to bring the culture in. It's such a hard thing. But when you have this one world order, where like you're saying it's my way or no way, that's to me is an issue. Or you want the whole world to assimilate to your whole way, beliefs. That's a problem. Like, I like the different. We talk about it. I like the different cultures and areas in our country. I also like in the world. You can go to different places, but I don't want everything to be exactly the same.
But also,
I don't want
that's also the nature of our country. Like, imagine if you were Japanese, right? And since the dawn of time, Japan was only Japanese people. It was all Japanese people.
Which
all
is
Japanese
okay,
culture.
though.
No, that's the point I'm trying to make. You're saying, I love that things are different and we have a lot of cultures and all different kinds of people in here. But that's what America is. But if you're Japanese and now you have all these new people coming in, different culture changing, and now Japan isn't Japan anymore. I understand why Japanese people would be like,
no,
get the fuck out.
I agree with that too.
Right.
I do.
And so you're saying, like, people want one thing, and my way or the highway, it's our order or nothing. I think that certain cultures and certain, I think that's okay.
I'm okay with that in their country.
Right.
So if I want to go to Japan, I can visit Japan. But I don't think that let's say the Muslims should come into Japan and say, we're now making it all Muslim. I don't agree with that.
Right. But if they were doing that, and Japan was like, we're going to kill you all for, like, either get out or we're going to kill you.
I don't, but
I understand, like, I can see why they would do that.
There's so many layers and so many problems. Yeah. I don't have the answer to it.
No, there isn't an answer.
Yeah, but I do know that no faith, religion, or belief say, I want to kill somebody because of their color, their religion, their race, their ethnic background. No one has that right. And that's where I have a fucking problem with it.
Yeah,
and that's
I don't think anyone has that right. I think everyone has that capability. How about that? That's how I feel. I truly feel that everyone has that capability.
All right, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you on that, but I think that the capability comes in different ways or different levels or different degrees for people. Some people it's much easier just because they want to with a mob mentality. Like, I know I wouldn't join in the mob mentality. I know I would not join in that mob mentality. If there was a fight or whatever, I wouldn't, just because that beating somebody up, I wouldn't do that. But there are people like that. And I got
okay.
Pee.
All right.
You don't have to agree, but that's okay.
I think both of us have the propensity to.
You can think what you want.
Not mob mentality. I don't know if that's the word that I would use for it, but I think, like, we are both passionate enough people that we could, like what we were just talking about last night at dinner. We were saying it's amazing that during World War II, American, like, men, high schoolers, college age men were like, I'm going to go fight, risk my life to join this bigger cause.
A lot of respect.
That's mob mentality. It's a good thing because we feel like we were justified. We were on the right side.
You see 15 people, you see the people kicking. You're going different layers. I'm making general statements, right? You're doing little specifics. I'm just making general statements about what you know about yourself as a person. Okay? Yeah. You know yourself as a person, what your capabilities are and what your capabilities aren't. And who knows, right? We're not confronting situations. But based on my prior dealings, if you saw some, you see, like, kids in college, if you hear the stories about a girl drunk and the guys are, and then the other ones are around and they get into it because they, whatever. It's a certain personality. I'm just saying, based upon me knowing me, I don't think I would stick up for the underdog.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. That's not really what I was talking about. That I do think you would stick up for the underdog. That's your natural propensity. I was talking about, like,
no, but having a belief of saying I believe my country, I want to fight for my country, I don't know if that's necessarily mob mentality of what I'm talking about, where in the street, where, do you know what I'm saying? We see on the news.
Right, but, no, and I agree. And I think in Nazi Germany, the people were like, I want to fight for my country. I want to stand up for my country. And it was that patriotism for the wrong idea, but it was the same feeling.
Right, okay, I get the feeling, but it's the wrong idea. And
right, but we have... I believe that I have that propensity for that feeling, that patriotism, that I'm going to defend my land. This is, we live here. This is ours, but I'm going to defend that.
I agree. And I think that you could become desensitized. So I think
you're not desensitized. I think you could
killing 10 people, you get desensitized of killing your next 10.
Sure.
And I think human beings, like, you can go to jail and prison. We have the ability to adapt to many things and survive.
And believe what we're doing is right. I truly believe that many of the Nazi soldiers, just regular soldiers, were like, we're doing what's right.
Maybe. I'm not there. I don't know.
Like American soldiers, we view them in Afghanistan and Iraq, like the one, like, killing those people. We view them, they're doing what's right. I believe
a lot of them don't want to be there, but they have to take the orders. I get it.
No, but do you believe that, like, our American soldiers, when they go off to battle to fight for our freedom, they're doing what's right? The other side doesn't feel it.
Of course.
Right. And that's just the point I'm trying to make.
All right.
You can be talked into doing very bad things because you believe it's right.
Yes. But I don't disagree. I don't think anybody would disagree with you on that.
Right. And I'm saying me and you can do that. We can do whatever.
Okay. All right. Love you, Bronny.
Love you too.
Everybody take care. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.